Hello, everybody. Good morning from the UK, from Plymouth, here in the southwest of England. Good afternoon to you in Hong Kong. Thank you very much all for joining us. We'll start with some introductions. So firstly, of the UPIC team. My name is Tim Gutzel. I'm Director of Marketing and Admissions for the college, and then I'll pass to my colleagues to introduce themselves. Amber, would you like to start?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Tim. My name's Amber. I'm the marketing and student recruitment person here at the college. Thanks for joining
Coordinator,
me.
that's a word.
I got flustered, Tim. And I'll pass over to Amy.
Hi there, my name is Amy and I'm one of the admissions officers here at UPIC. Thank you for joining us today. I will pass you to the student experience team, to Anita.
Hello, 大家好. And my name is Anita. I'm one of the student experience officer here at UPIC. And over to Sarah.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm a student experience officer at UPIC too.
Lovely, thank you all, Team UPIC. And then we have Sharon. Would you like to introduce yourself? And Miranda.
Good morning, good afternoon for you. I'm Sharon. I'm an associate professor in adult nursing and the admissions tutor for the adult health nursing programs, School of Nursing Midwifery.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Miranda Cunningham, and I am one of the lecturers in occupational therapy, but I'm also the Associate Head of School for Marketing and Admissions for the School of Health Professions.
That's great. Thank you very much, everybody, for the introductions. What I'm going to do now is flick forward quickly through the slides so that we get Sharon and Miranda's specialist areas. We'll try to spend most of the time on those. And then we do have some general information about UPIC, the college, about the university and about the city of Plymouth, which we'll go back to, time allowing. But first of all, I'll give you a brief introduction to all of the things we may come back to, time allowing, before we get to, here we go, we land on Intercity Place. Sharon, would you like to give us an introduction to Intercity Place?
Right, okay, so Intercity Place is it's an old building, but a newly refurbished building that's been taken over by the Faculty of Health. It's a delightful space to work in for our staff and our students, focusing both on being able to share the experience, as I've said, across nursing, midwifery and our health professions. So this has been really quite an exciting time for the faculty because it's really the first time we've had an opportunity to work this closely together. So with adult nursing, these are the programs that we currently offer. We have the traditional undergraduate BSc honours in nursing. That's a 3-year full-time program. In addition to that, we also offer an M-Nurse. Now, these are full-time 4-year programs that provide students with an opportunity to gain 2 registrations. So, for example, they could be registered as an adult health nurse and a child health nurse, an adult health nurse and a mental health nurse. This, of course, is really attractive for employers, but also for the students themselves, because they really extend their knowledge and experience across these different fields of nursing. Furthermore, we have a 2-year foundation program, the Foundation Degree in Nursing Associate. This is a recognised profession with our Council for Nursing Midwifery, and therefore they are registered practitioners. But it's a 2-year program, and this particular program was introduced to bridge the gap between healthcare assistants and registered nurse. And it's been a really exciting time, I think, within the world of nursing to have this opportunity. I will say that an awful lot of the nursing associates then progress to become full registered nurses. But of course, that's great because it's a career pathway here within the UK and another opportunity. From a postgraduate perspective, we offer an MSc in nursing within each field of nursing, actually, adult health, child health and mental health nursing. This is a full-time 2-year programme, and applicants coming onto this programme are required to hold a degree in any subject at a 2-2 or above, and additionally have a minimum of 750 relevant clinical nursing hours. I really do stress that particular point because for students coming onto the MSc programme, Academically, of course, they'll be working at master's level, but when they're in practice, they're actually viewed as senior students. So that clinical expertise and knowledge is really important because they almost start as a second-year traditional student in terms of clinical experience. Next slide, please. So we call our programme a 50-50, and because we are governed by the Nursing Midwifery Council, they stipulate how many hours a nursing programme has across a programme. And at the present time, that's 2,300 hours in theory and 2,300 hours in clinical practice. So consequently, we structure this as a 50-50 programme. We provide students with a block of theory and then a block of practice, a block of theory and a block of practice. So at that time, the students are not out in clinical practice and having to return to the university learn. They immerse themselves in their placement settings so that they can fully master the skills and the competencies that are required for them to become registrants. Placements. Now, of course, being a 50-50 programme, the placements really do matter to students. And although the theory is really important and underpins exactly what they're doing out in practice, this is somewhere where sometimes they can feel very much alone. So we ensure that when they are away from the campus, they are supported fully by practice educators, practice development teams. And the teams are made up from both clinical partners, but also academics from the university. The students themselves are actually taught and supervised from registered nurses and other healthcare professionals that they'll work with. But again, they have additional support from both academic assessors, practice assessors and practice supervisors. We also offer peer-assisted learning whereby our senior students support our students. And whilst initially this is only undertaken during theory, it's something that we now embed in practice. So again, no student ever needs to feel alone or a little bit uncertain about what's required of them. In terms of placement areas, well, we are the southwest of England and we are a fairly rural area. I mean, the screenshot behind me is actually sort of where I live. So we're a very rural county. We have a number of acute district general hospitals to provide students with experience in acute care. And those are things that are very traditional, such as medical ward, surgical ward, cardiac care, intensive care units, and the things that you would expect from a hospital. But of course, we also provide a lot of community care. And so therefore, students will have placements in a whole range of areas to ensure that they, again, develop those skills that are so essential in nursing. There's a nice diversity out in the community, ranging from, and although it says non-acute, a lot of community teams are now very well developed and equipped to manage more acute conditions in a healthcare setting, particularly where they are long-term long-term conditions. And for some of our students, they'll also work with general practitioners, school nursing, in nursing homes, and also prison nursing. So quite a diverse range of placements. So within adult nursing, what is it that you need and what is it that you get? Of course, it's absolutely essential that we are compassionate practitioners. We have to develop that empathy with other people to really be able to support and understand their learning, support the students with their learning as they go through that journey. We have to be resilient. Emotionally, this can be quite a challenging programme and certainly a challenging career. So, resilience is definitely required. You also need to be incredibly patient and tolerant. Working in some of the settings, then you can sometimes be challenged. And I think nursing really does shape your personality. So although we recruit to get the right people into nursing, sometimes you find that you'll change anyway just because of what you're being faced with. And you certainly need commitment. It is a demanding programme. Of course, any degree is demanding, but when you actually have the addition of placement hours, and as you've seen, 2,300, so it's not something that's a small part of the programme, you need to be committed to that. However, nursing is a really rewarding career. Every day you make a difference to someone's life, and whether that's a big thing or a little thing, it's every day. And plus the fact nursing's certainly not dull. Every day is different. And it really doesn't matter whether you know the patients, whether you've got a whole new set of patients the next day you go in. The day is always different. You may start your day with a very clear plan of what you're going to be doing, and midway through that day you will have had 4 or 5 plans because things change. you get very good professional development. And of course, that's essential because as nursing changes, technology is changing. It's really important the nurses are, kept up to date and able to provide that standard of care that's so essential to meet people's needs. And there are so many different nursing specialties to choose from. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's never dull and you never get bored. There are lots of opportunities to be able to change your career pathway within nursing and just to continue to learn. And that to me was always one of the things that kept me very fresh and going. I probably changed my position in nursing every 18 months to 2 years, certainly never because I knew it all, but just because I wanted to know a bit more. And one key thing really is just to recognise that, yes, it's hard work. It's really rewarding, but it's hard work. And we always say comfy shoes are probably one of the most essential things you'll need as a nurse. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Let's just pause there for any questions for Sharon. I should just say from the UPIC perspective, it's our foundation in health and human sciences, but leads into the nursing degrees at the university. So that's a 3-semester program with us starting in September, leading into adult, child, mental health nursing, and also into other health professions that Miranda is going to talk about in a moment. So I think there are no questions. Do feel free to use the chat if you would prefer. But otherwise, we'll move on to Miranda.
Yes, thanks very much, Tim. Yes, so I'm Miranda Cunningham, and as I said previously, I am the Associate Head of School for the School of Health Professions for Marketing and Admissions. Do you mind, moving this? Thank you. So I just wanted to give you a bit of context, I suppose, to where the School of Health Professions sits amongst the rest of the university. So you can see the University of Plymouth there on the right-hand side, and there are a number of faculties within the university, and the School of Health Professions sits alongside a number of our sister schools in the Faculty of Health. And Sharon's just spoken about the School of Nursing and the programs that they offer, and as you can see, we work also alongside psychology, the medical school, the dental school, and biomedical science. And students who enter our programs have opportunities for learning with their peers from the other schools, as you might work in practice. So we are, I think, as a university, we're very committed to interprofessional learning. Okay, Tim, do you mind moving on? Thank you. Right, so in terms of health professionals, we actually train 7 different types of health professionals within the school at the University of Plymouth. You can see them named on the left-hand side. So we train social workers, dietitians and human nutritionists, occupational therapists, optometrists, physiotherapists, podiatrists, and paramedic scientists. So there's a real breadth. I think we are one of the largest providers of this variety of health professions in the UK. And you can see on the right-hand side that we also offer a real depth of programs. Just like nursing, we offer from apprenticeships right through to standard bachelor's programs, integrated master's programs, and pre-registration programs. And we also teach advanced professional practice, postgraduate courses right up to doctorates, just like just as nursing do. So I think we are fairly confident in the offer that we have in terms of both breadth and depth. Tim, do you mind? Thank you. So our actual programs probably that students would come through via UPIC are our bachelor's programs, and so we have Bachelor of Arts in Social Work, and the rest are Bachelors of Science, and our graduates go on to progress into many different careers. And as you can see there, we offer these degrees for all of the 6 professions, and for optometry our entry is now an integrated master's, so that's in addition. And again, like nursing, when you're training for any of these professions in the United Kingdom, part of the requirement has to be met through various professional bodies. So we have a professional body for each of these different professions, and they have different standards and requirements as to student training, but they all include an element of placement. And our placements again are in the southwest of the UK generally, and our students generally have to have at least 1,000 hours of clinical practice. It usually makes up roughly a third of their degree programme, and we support the students with finding the placements, and we provide lots of support on student placement as well. The students work on placement with registered allied health professionals. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, that's okay. If you,
Sorry,
yeah.
bit quick there.
That's all right. Yeah, and I just think I wanted to say a little something about research. So obviously, at this level of practice, we expect our students to be able to apply evidence-based practice and understand the evidence base. So in the School of Health Professions, all of our students undertake a research project as part of their bachelor's degrees, and we really encourage the students to undertake some primary data collection and to develop a research project and proposal so that they get an understanding of how the evidence base is developed, and then that goes on to help them when they're in clinical practice, when they're having to understand what's the most appropriate evidence to support their learning and their practice. So we're a university that's active in research, and we have opportunities for students, as you've seen, to progress from bachelor's programs right through to doctorates and postdoctorate work. Thank you.
Oh,
I think that's
so
me. That's
it
me.
is. Thank you, Miranda. That's great. And thank you, Sharon. I'll pause again to give an opportunity for any questions you have at this point of Sharon and Miranda. Sharon, Miranda, anything else you would like to add?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Only if people have questions later, that I'm very happy for you to share my email if there's anything specifically about any of those programs.
That's great. Thank you both very much. You're very welcome to stay or welcome to leave, whatever you prefer. But what we'll do for all the attendees is just go back to the beginning now and go through some of the general information about UPIC, University and the city.
Thank you. I will leave because I do have another meeting.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for your input, Sharon.
No, thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Tim. I think I need to go too, but thanks for
Okay.
inviting me.
Lovely.
And enjoy the rest of your session.
Thank you. And if we have any follow-up questions, we'll share them with you.
Thank you.
So this is for UPIC team. Where you can see me there on the top row in the middle. Tim Gutzel, I'm Director of Marketing and Admissions for UPIC. Matthias Shortcook is our College Director and Principal, and Dave Jones, our Director of Academic and Student Services. Amber and Amy are with us on the call. Amber is our Marketing and Student Recruitment Coordinator. Amy is our Admissions Officer, working with Nico as our Admissions Manager. And then we have Anita and Sarah with us, who work with Toby in the student experience team. So a small, compact team here at UPIC. To put that Health and Human Sciences Foundation programme in the wider context of what we do, you can see we have a whole range of foundation and first year programmes. Health and Human Sciences is a 3-semester programme. All of the others are 2 semesters, and then the pre-masters is a 1-semester program. So 3 levels of study, wide range of subject areas, lots of things to do with the sea, so marine, maritime, as we have a coastal location, and 3 intake points in September, January, and May. Entry requirements for Hong Kong. So for foundation, we're looking for at least successful completion of Form 5 with an average of 55%. Or HKDSC with a total of at least 6 points. And then higher slightly for first year, so HKDSC with a total of 9 points, or 48 UCAS points at A or AS level or the equivalent. And then for pre-masters, we're looking for a university level qualification equivalent to a UK HND. So that means perhaps slightly short of completing a bachelor's degree or some other level of qualification, but usually gained over at least 15 years of formal education. All of our applications come in through StudyLink. There's an apply here button on our website, so very easy to find. We're very happy to be kind of flexible in our approach to applications. So we'll consider applications from students with a study gap, and then we'd like to see a really detailed CV to show what they've been doing in the meantime, but no problem with a study gap. Similarly, no problem really with a visa refusal, or we're happy to look at those anyway, because we know there are lots of, especially for the USA, for Canada, for Australia, there are lots of visa refusals, which really are just a way of controlling numbers. So we're very happy to consider an application from someone who has a previous visa refusal. Student success. This is really important to us. It's not just about getting in bodies, getting students in, collecting their fee. It's actually about providing a stepping stone for them from a level they're currently at through UPIC into the university. And more than 85% of our students progress from UPIC to the university. And then through and out of the university, and again, more than 85% of our students graduate successfully from the university and with an equivalent number of first class and upper second class degrees as are gained by international direct entrance. So you can see there, we're all about student success. And you'll know that isn't the case with every pathway provider, and those 85% figures will be significantly lower in other colleges and partner universities. So we feel very strongly that we add lots of value to the students who join us. Now I'm going to pass over to Amy, who's going to take you on a virtual tour. So as well as all the facts and the information, you'll get an idea of how the city looks and feels and where we are located in relation to the university, in relation to the city. So thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Tim. Tim, can you see Plymouth on my screen?
I can, yes.
Great. Off to a good start, so thank you. Thank you for joining me on the tour. I would like to start off by showing you where UPIC is. And I will zoom in slowly and just show you that we are here, 15 Portland Villas, at the end of this tree-lined avenue. And if I zoom out, you will see that we are on the edge of the university campus, which starts here. So if I turn around slowly, you will see that I'm above the center of the campus here, in which you can find the Students' Union, the library, which is open 24/7, and other lecture buildings, such as Babbage, which hosts our marine engineering courses. We've got the Marine building over here, and then we have got the Roland Levinsky building. If I turn around a little more, so again, here's the center of the campus, and just over the road here are a couple of the accommodation buildings. And I'm going to take you in one just to show you an example of what the university accommodation has to offer. This particular example is a single room. This one is not en suite, but many of the options are. In this building also, you will see there is a shared kitchen facility, which you can see the example here. They are nice, bright, open spaces. Spacious, catering for a number of the students. And it's worth mentioning also that the university offers its accommodation on a first come, first served basis. But we will also mention it later, a little more about the accommodation partners that we work with. So they are some of the options right there, very, very close to the university campus and to the UPIC campus. Now in the distance here, you can see the ocean, which is along our Plymouth seafront. Just before I take you over there, I'm going to take you to the harbour area, which is the marina, as well as an area called the Barbican. I just want to point out here the marine station, which for students availing of the marine courses is a place in which they will undertake some practice whilst studying. So I'm going to turn around slowly and show you the lovely marina area. And just over to the right is what we call the Barbican. And the Barbican, as well as being part of the marina, also holds lots of restaurants and bars and nice cafes. And it's a nice place for students just to hang out in their off time, particularly when it's sunny. And another place that we recommend students to visit is along here on our seafront. So I'm going to take you to what is called Plymouth Hoe. You can see here Smeaton's Tower, which is one of the city landmarks. And another landmark here is also what is called the Tinside Lido. It is an outdoor pool, and we are just starting to come into the ideal weather for using the Tinside Lido. And this is a really nice area just to hang out in the summer weather. There'll often be lots and lots of people here. To give you some perspective of where we are now, we have just come from this area over to the right, the marina. This is the university campus there, and that is just under a mile away. So it is a 10-minute walk at most for students. Before I take you back to the university campus, I just want to show you an overview of the rest of the city. Over here in the distance, we have Cornwall, which is a really lovely scenic area to visit during a student's off time on the weekend. It really is well worth visiting. Another place also to visit is Royal William Yard here. It's a social spot, I suppose, with restaurants and cafes, and it's a nice place just to walk along the water. And then between there and the rest of the city, you have the sort of the center of the city here. So I'm going to take you back to the middle. And before I finish at the campus, I'm going to just show you some more social areas for students. So we've got Drake Circus here, our main shopping centre, and we've got the high streets down here, which is lots to offer in terms of shopping. We've also got a theatre, which is an amazing facility, and there are lots of restaurants catering to a diverse range of likes, such as, well, there are lots of Asian cuisine as well there, and they're very nice, very well worth checking out. And I will take you back to the campus and finish up at UPIC. So we are here. So as you can see, it really isn't far from the rest of the city. Before I do finish at UPIC, I would like to actually point out this building here, and this is what Sharon Jones mentioned earlier, and it is Intercity Place, which hosts the majority of the health and human science courses, in particular adult nursing, physiotherapy, occupational therapy. And it is an amazing facility. It's well worth researching a little more if you and your students are interested. Just behind Intercity Place is the train station. So for your students who fly to, say, London Heathrow, they can get a train directly to Plymouth, and we'll have a 5 to 10 minute walk up here to UPIC. So we are just there. We have our marketing and recruitment team, our admissions team, and Anita and Sarah in our student experience team. We are here 8:30 to 5 Monday to Friday, and we do also offer an out-of-hours support service for the students should they need any help. So that is UPIC there. This is the university campus, and this is the city of Plymouth that we hope you visit really, really soon. So thank you for joining.
Great. Thank you very much, Amy. While I go back to the slides, are there any questions at this point about the city or about anything we've talked to you about so far? Okay. So I think now over to Sarah and Anita to describe our accommodation provision to you, if you would, please. Who'd like to start?
So I can start. So we have a partnership with Clever Student Lets, who are one of the university or student accommodation providers in Plymouth. Their office is about a 10-minute walk from ours. They have a lot of different rooms available, and there's a booking form on our website that students can use if they're looking to book accommodation with Clever. But of course, there are a lot of private accommodation providers in Plymouth.
Thanks, Sarah. As Sarah mentioned, there's an online application form for Clever on our website. The accommodation really is a big positive point about Plymouth as a student city, in that, as Amy showed you, we're located in the middle of the city. We have accommodation very close by, so typically 5 to 10 minutes walk away. And all of this in a city which is ranked in the top 15 safest student cities in the UK. And number 2 now, top young university in the UK. And great value, very cost effective for students in that our accommodation prices typically start from around £100 a week. So you'll know that that's kind of a half or even a third of London or other big city prices. So accommodation is a big bonus. Now we need to go forward quickly through all of Sharon and Miranda's slides, and then we come to our important dates for September. So our application deadline is the 31st of July. So that should give us enough time to process everything for teaching to start for undergraduate students on the 16th of September, and then 1 week later on the 23rd of September for pre-master's students. That might seem like a long gap between 31st of July and the start of teaching, but we need to allow plenty of time for payments to be made, for CASs to be issued. Actually, in the case of Hong Kong, lots of these things happen more quickly in terms of visa issuing than in many other countries we work with. So if you need a little bit more flexibility around those deadlines, that can be available for students who've got everything properly prepared. So do talk to us if you think any of those deadlines might be a problem. In terms of arrival, we do encourage students to arrive for our enrolment week, which is the week before teaching. For undergraduate students, so that's foundation and year 1, we can have a little bit of flexibility around when students join us. So we'd love them all to arrive at the start of enrolment, but the last enrolment date is the end of the 2nd week of teaching. So that is the 27th of September for undergraduate students. For pre-master students, there's less flexibility. It's a much shorter program. So we do need students to arrive for the start of teaching on Monday, the 23rd of September. And then also here, we have information about scholarships. So the University of Plymouth is actually very generous in its international scholarship schemes. And all UPIC students who achieve grades of at least 70% in their program and have 85% or above attendance get an automatic £2,000 discount from their university fee when they progress. And the university also has a range of academic excellence awards, and more than 50 of those were awarded earlier this year. So they're available to a good number of students, and they offer a huge discount of 50% of the tuition fee. So the academic excellence awards are very generous as well. For UPIC, we are offering scholarships for our pre-masters program for September. So for the pre-masters, we can offer a £1,500 discount for anybody who meets all of the conditions and pays the fee by the 30th of June. So there we go. That's information on our dates and our scholarships. And now I'm going to pass to Amber to talk about our social media presence.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so we're active across several social media channels. We have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Threads. And it's a really good way to get information across to students about the latest events that are going on campus, and also some information that relates to their studies as well. So we try to keep everyone as informed as we can. And it's a really good way to showcase Plymouth, what it's like to study here and live here for future students as well. So yeah, that's our social media in a nutshell. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Amber. And now we're close to winding up now. As I said at the start, any questions you have, we're happy to leave time at the end and we'll go through those. But we do have a series of frequently asked questions. So we know people often ask Bs. So we'll do a bit of role play now and ask Bs of each other. So hopefully this will address a lot of the questions you have. But if you do have further questions, then do please feel free to raise your hand or use the chat function. Amy, is there an option to study online?
There is not an option to study online. We do need students to be here in person. The classes will be mostly between 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So yeah, students must attend in person. There is no option to study online. Sarah, can I apply if I have a study gap or a visa refusal?
Of course. So if you have a study gap or you've had a visa refusal previously, please do still apply. Just ensure that if it's a visa refusal, you submit an immigration history questionnaire, which the admissions team will send to you, and then any relevant paperwork to do with the refusal. If you have a study gap, please ensure that you submit a good CV with no gaps. And a personal statement, and the admissions team will gladly consider your application. Tim, can I apply if my grades are slightly lower than what is required?
Yes, absolutely, you can. So we have guidelines, entry requirements that we showed you earlier. But if you have a student whose grades are slightly lower, we're always happy to look at that and to look at the whole application. So they may have a bit of work experience, which is relevant, or other life experience. So we're always trying to take the whole person into account in the application. And we have an academic board here, which can very quickly, in fact, consider applications from students who maybe don't quite meet our entry requirements. So if you've got somebody who's just a little bit short on the grade requirements, then do please let us know, because we're always happy to consider that. Amber, can I live anywhere in the UK?
No, Tim, sorry, you can't. So students do need to live in Plymouth. And as Amy showcased earlier with our virtual tour, there are lots of opportunities to live on campus. So we're talking like 5 to 10 minutes from your university building. So no, Tim, do book a place in Plymouth and you'll be fine. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. So we're pretty much done now. If you have any other questions, then please do let us know. I'll just pass briefly to Anita. Is there anything more you would like to say from the student experience point of view and how we look after and support our students?
I'm sorry, Tim, Anita has left the call.
I'll pass to Sarah to see if there's anything you'd like to add on that from a student experience perspective.
So I would just add that obviously once students arrive here, we are the first port of call for any queries. So we offer pastoral support, academic support as well. And if you have any questions about life in Plymouth, you can always send us an email on the email to the email address on the screen.
Great, thank you, Sarah. So that's it. We're pretty much done. I hope you found the session interesting and useful. As I said, we have been recording it. So as soon as we have the link to the recording, we'll share that with you so that you can watch again or share with colleagues. You can see our email contact there up on the screen. So do please feel free to use those. Or if you have any questions for Sharon or Miranda, then you're more than welcome to send those through us and we'll pass them on. Finally, the image you can see there, good note to end on, fireworks. British Fireworks Championships happens every year in Plymouth over 2 evenings in the summer. So as soon as darkness falls, thousands of people gather on the Hoe that Amy showed you earlier, the grass area just by the sea. And we have 2 great evenings of competitive fireworks. So yeah, that's not something most cities or universities can offer you. So come and join us, see the fireworks. So that's it for now. I will say thank you to all of my UPIC colleagues, to Amy, to Amber, to Sarah. I can't quite see who's on the screen now, and I don't want to leave anyone out. Anita, even though she's gone, thank you, and Amber, and to all of the attendees who joined us. Thank you very much for joining. And we look forward to receiving any questions you have and hopefully to seeing you one day soon in Plymouth. Thanks, everybody, and goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day.